So it's a rainy winter night here at the shop, and we're trying to like gear up for this coming year now. It's the end of January, beginning of February, or something like that. I don't know. It's all just, it's 1 month, right? But we're gearing up for this year because this year we plan on actually getting out. Last year we didn't really get out. We sent Slaghammer out on power tour, and that's about it. Everything other than that, it just stayed at the shop. But this year we plan on getting our cars out and actually exercising the damn things. So, bring you up to speed on stuff. So the charger, I have not touched the charger since I did the quarter. The quarter is done. I tacked the frame rail in place with the wedges and all of that, but I didn't do any of the finish welding. So I got to jump back on this. I've been very preoccupied with that first engine job Jeep build, and we're going to do more on that tomorrow. But for right now, we're just focusing on our cars. So let's see. For our Mule, because we've been talking about the Mule, this is that 361 with the freeze cracks. So we welded up the freeze cracks. I'm still gonna fill the bottom of the water jackets like with epoxy just in case. But this engine is all together. It's ready to drop on the car. We just need to get the car over here. But this is the first one that we're going to try to do some experimenting with, and it's the first engine for the car. So, but it's all really ready to drop in and go. Other than I got to put the front of it together, but that's it. Plan Z. Now, Plan Z has been so neglected. This poor car. We haven't touched it in months, literally. And I guess the last time we screwed around with it was back in, oh God, I don't know, when was it? Last March or April? And it's just been sitting ever since. But this is the first one out the gate, and we plan on running it this March, which is, you know, a month away, about 6 weeks. So I'm going through the car, and luckily, look at this. I actually have a real body guy here for a change. Ron is like, you have anything cool for me to work on? I just want to work on cool stuff. I'm like, Ron, I got cool stuff up the wazoo. Right? So what Ron is doing here is something that I would butcher to no end. What he's doing is he's cutting a set of Hemi dart wheel openings into Plan Z, but scaled down to the smaller diameter tire. Because the Hemi darts used, well, okay, when they cut these, all right, show what you got going over here.
So this is based on some very general measurements I was able to find online, and then comparing that to pictures. This is roughly what those early Hemi dart cars, the Superstock cars, the LO23s, were going to run. Because the first generation, I think this is the second, they run like a 30-inch tire on the second version, which is I think what this is. Originally it was a 28-inch tire. Right. Regardless, that's a lot bigger than what we've got going on here. So Tony came over and looked at what I was coming up with. He said, we need to scale it down. This is a slant 6 car. So me and him came up with this revision. And it still has that look, but it's a little smaller because this is a 26.
Right. So Superstock allows a 1432. And that's what that bigger opening would be scaled to, a 1432 tire. And we've got a 26-inch tall tire, and we can't go any taller because we can't get gears for this thing. So it's slant 6 with a 7 1/4 and a 410 gear. So we can't go taller. That's out of the question. But we can go wider, and I think we do have to go wider because we really have no traction with these tires. So he's cutting it now to scale. I think that's going to look great.
Yeah, it's going to have the look of a Hemi dart cut out. You know, it's just going to be a little smaller because
take the top tape off so we can actually see the opening.
That's kind of the original, or very, you know, close as we can get without paying a lot of money for templates.
Yeah, they want like $100 for a template.
Yeah. So then this like the tape is going to be like the void, right? That's going to be the new opening, and then everything above here is going to be what's left.
And where's the top of the tire in relation to that? So then the top
of the tire, well, I'm gonna wiggle my hand up in there. The top of the tire is really close, so you're going to have the final edge is going to be here. Okay. The top of the tire is probably right there.
That ought to be fine. We can always go bigger.
Yeah. We
can always go bigger, but you know, if you go too big, then it looks all weird and awkward.
Right. So right. You decide you want more room later. You know, you get somehow you get a little cut in the tire or something. Well,
it gives me the option if I want to put an 8 3/4 in the car.
Yeah.
At some point, which I probably won't. I'll avoid it. But if I do go to an 8 3/4, it'll give me plenty of room to grow.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that looks great. So have you ever really looked at Slaghammer?
I mean, yes and no. I've gone by it and taken in some of the details. You know, like I love the tilt front end.
Oh, but I mean, as far as the bodywork goes.
You know, yeah, I couldn't help but notice that it's just kind of there's no definition there.
No,
There's
right?
no definition. You know, there's like these lines should continue, but they don't. It's okay. You know, it fits the theme of the car.
Do you think you could do something with that?
Oh, I mean, of course. You know.
Would you want to?
Well, I mean, hey, the worst thing about it will be the time. It's not doing it. It's just like how long it'll take.
I always pictured this car with like a really crazy paint job on it, like a 60s deep metal flake, flip-flop, endless line, you know, craziness, but I can't paint over what's there.
No, that'd be a little awkward, I think.
A little awkward.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird because you do have a straight door, and
The door is nice.
yeah, and you know, it looks like your fenders are actually pretty good. Well, we'll work on this. Like if you want, you know, some candy apple bass boat flake kind of thing. I mean, we'll buy a couple of cans of mud and we'll go to town. Well, that's per quarter panel.
There already is a couple of cans of mud in there. Yeah. If I could peel the Bondo off of that, you would be horrified.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, we either work with this or we find some quarters. I mean, it's all in what, you know, what we can find and what you want to spend. And I mean, you know, I'm here to have a good time. So in order to have a good time, first I'm going to end up covered in Bondo dust. I already know this.
please.
So
I just finished cleaning up the Bondo dust.
So
Look, I actually have a real life body guy here who just wants to do some cool stuff. How do you beat that? All right, so when is this thing going to be?
well, I didn't bring all the stuff. I wanted to brainstorm with you and make sure that we were on the same page and that you loved it, right?
I do. I love it. It's
So
perfect.
you love it. So by this weekend, I will be back and we will do some cutting.
Nice, nice.
So-
This weekend I think weather permitting, we'll fire it up and we'll take it. You're a little dark here. The light is weird. Weather permitting, this weekend we'll cut it and we'll get this thing running. We'll take it out in the parking lot and do some,
Just burn it up.
yeah, just flex its muscles a little bit. Have you ever heard this car run?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Yeah.
You were around when I had this thing at the old shop drilling
you
holes in
had
it.
just built it. Like I was there and there were metal shavings everywhere. When you had just gone crazy with the hole saw, and I was like, damn, man, like, it'll be light.
So-
it'll be light.
What I did was, this is my old shop, Mid-South Mopars. I parked this car outside the front, so I had a hallway that went between the office and the shop, like a wide hallway. And I parked this car there, and I left a drill with a step bit in it, laying on the car. And every time I would go to or from the office, I'd stop and drill a hole. So that's how, right? So that's how all of these holes got there.
Yeah.
You know, and people are like, you must have spent a lifetime drilling holes. No, every time I went for a cup of coffee, I stopped and drilled a hole. So there you go.
It just added up.
I do love
Or
this car.
subtracted up.
I do love this car. So, all
What
right,
did you say it weighs?
2140, I believe it was last time we scaled it.
Yeah. Didn't we figure out that if I was in it, I would account for
About 10%.
No, it's going to be like 13 or
13%
something.
of the car's weight. I drilled holes in everything. There's just, you name it. It's just totally old school.
Light is fast.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's the update from the shop on a rainy, what is it, Tuesday? It's
yeah.
all one day to me.
Yeah,
So 1 day, 1 week, 1 month.
It ends in Y.
Yeah. And tomorrow we'll get back on the 4.0. I have a lot of stuff I got to show you guys. We'll show the people who are following that particular series. on the block, things that have to be covered. So that's it for now. I'm gonna sit back and watch them work. I'll see you tomorrow.